sloppy. That's sloppy scholarship, but it works for sound bites, and it works for our quick media age. And so unfortunately, as educators, we have that to deal with. Let me close by I want to say one more thing about why I chose Gulen. I get asked a lot, why did you choose Gulen? You could have chosen Al-Ghazali, I could have chosen Ibn Sina. There's any number of, classic, huge Islamic scholars that have reams of work and, centuries of interpretation that are commonly put at the same level as people like Confucius and others. And I think that's a valid point. Part of what motivates me to write, I said, is my interfaith work. And those of us in my field have been very busy since 9/11, defending our Muslim friends, not defending Islam, not whitewashing that religion or any religion. Any religion can become horrible and violent, and this one has as well. But defending our Muslim friends, defending depending on which study you look at, anywhere from 5 to 7 million Muslims that live in the United States, who are not terrorists, they're not anything remotely like that. They are just regular, peace-loving citizens like everybody else, and are horrified at what happened. And so we're doing, been doing a lot of work. And so part of what I wanted to do in the book is to show that Islam as a system of thought is resonant with some of these other ideas that are highly prized and valued in world intellectual history, like freedom, human dignity, things like that. And so if I had picked Al-Ghazali, someone would have said, well, yeah, Al-Ghazali, of course. He was a classic scholar. But that was, that was 500 years ago. Islam now is completely bankrupt of those values. So I didn't want to pick anybody that was dead, long dead. I also didn't want to pick someone from one of the sort of, and I don't mean this to be disrespectful, but from a group that could be called marginal to mainline Islam. I didn't want to pick someone on the fringe, some sort of little break-off group, like the Ahmadiyya, for example. I mean, the Ahmadiyya community is hugely involved in interfaith work, but they are to mainline Islam what Mormons are to Christianity. Not everyone is sure they're even Muslims. They call themselves that, but others are not sure. So I wanted someone living. I wanted someone from the center of Islam, mainline Islam, and I wanted someone whose work has had some influence. So Gulen fits that. I don't know of another Islamic imam or scholar whose work has inspired the exact and kind of project and work that his has in terms of concrete measuring it, the simple number of schools and foundations and initiatives and projects, and the simple longitudinal impact. You have people like Amr Khalid, who is from Egypt. He's not in Egypt now, I forget where he is, maybe he's in the UK now, but he has something like 3 million, 8 million people that listen to his radio show all the time. He's like the Joel Osteen of the Islamic world. He's like this big TV evangelist type person of the Islamic world. I've heard him speak. He's very charismatic. He's wonderful. But he just doesn't have the longevity yet that Gulen has. Gulen is from Sunni. 85% of world Islam is Sunni. Within Sunni, there are 4 major interpretive schools. One of the largest, I think the largest still, is the Hanafi school. And he is in that school of interpretation. So he's not coming from some sort of sidelined or peripheral part of Islam. He's coming from the central traditions in Islam, and he's living, and he's had enormous influence. So that was a lot of why I ended up choosing him, knowing that it's a problematic choice for many people, as you point out. So I would love to spend more time with you, and I would love to sign your books if you want me to sign them. And then I've got to get to the airport to catch a flight. Thank you all for coming.